And today we're getting in. Today's guest is proof that you don't need a fancy. Was that all right? Okay, let's do one more.
The business is now like a 7-figure business, and best advice I could ever give to anybody in life is like when I started Wanderdoll, it was like game time. Genuinely one of my best lessons to this day.
Welcome to Business as Usual, the podcast that goes beyond the titles and into the people behind the careers. I'm your host, Claudia Bish, and each week I'll be diving into real conversations that go beyond the job title. Expect honest stories, a few business gems along the way, and a reminder that behind every highlight reel, there's a whole lot more story. Now, let's get down to business. Today's guest is proof that you don't need a business degree, investment, or a fancy postcode to build something amazing. She started her brand with nothing but an idea and determination. No funding, just hustle and instinct. She's turned it into one of the fastest growing fashion brands online, and today we're getting into exactly how she did it.
I'm Ainsleigh Paige Sutherland, and this is Business as Usual.
I feel like we have a lot to unpack. Thank
do.
you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Let's rewind to your business roots.
Okay.
What age do you want to start from where it really, I suppose, you had that itch that you knew, I really want to get into work? Or because I feel like some people have that, some people don't. Some people are like, I want to continue education for as long as I can.
Yeah.
You went to uni?
Yeah, I did, but I always wanted to do fashion. So like when I was younger, I was like the biggest Spice Girl fan, and everyone wanted to be Baby Spice and I wanted to be Victoria Beckham. And I remember saying to my mum, like, I want to dress up as Victoria Beckham for Halloween and I want to wear this little black dress. And she'd be like, Ainsley, you cannot wear that. You're not allowed. Like, I was obsessed with her. I was obsessed with the way she dressed. I was obsessed with watching music videos. I was obsessed with Britney Spears and like the I'm a Slave for You video, and like I'd put up outfits and try and make tops, and I was just obsessed with it. And I did come from very humble beginnings, so like I didn't know what route to take, if that makes sense, but I always knew that I wanted to be something from being really young. And it was really weird because there was no reason for me to think that, but I just knew that I wanted to be something and do something, and I didn't actually know what. And then I left school and I had a friend, and I think it was her boyfriend's sister worked at Misguided, and she was doing this internship there, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Because what year is this? Because Misguided, I remember maybe like college time, everyone bought from Misguided.
This was when they was doing like Nicole Scherzinger edit.
Okay.
And like, so it was, I can't even remember where it was. I think I would have been like 17, 18. I was young though. And I remember just really, really thinking that was like the coolest thing ever. And I said to her, like, if there's any opportunities, like I don't want to take your opportunity, but like if anything comes up, can you please try and get me in there? And she did. And I remember I got free buses. And at the time my mum was like, why are you going doing this? It's like for free. And I was like, because it's the experience. I'm doing it. And I went in and they must have just seen me as this really annoying intern. But I was like in awe, like they flew this model in from like Brazil, and like this big production was going on. And to me, like this was like a different world. And they had all these racks of clothes and I was just trying to get stuck in. And I actually felt really invisible. And like it was really, really good for me, because I remembered stood there that day thinking, one day I'm going to have my own business and whoever walks into my door is going to feel like a somebody. I don't care who they are, everyone is going to feel equal and they're going to feel like a somebody. And it's genuinely one of my best lessons to this day. Obviously,
internships are character building.
They are, but nobody was like particularly nasty to me, by the way. I just felt like there was levels, if that made sense. Whereas at Wanderdoll, I'm very much like everybody has the same level of respect. It doesn't matter what role you have, it's something I'm really big on. Whereas that day, you could really feel it. Like, I remember they got everyone lunch and like the interns paid for their own lunch, but like that makes no sense to me because the intern had to get free buses there and wasn't being paid. So I feel like it taught me so much. And you know what? They were great with me. Like there was nothing wrong with it, but it taught me so much. And I think internships are actually great.
Oh my God, I would recommend them to, if we ever get a CV through and someone has like 5 internships, maybe it's backwards, but for me that
you're right.
I think shows more character than if someone applies with a business degree.
Yeah, that's so true. Like every time I get people's like CVs through and I look through them, the people who have done extra things, I'm like, that shows grit, and grit is so important.
I get messages quite a lot like, how do I get into your industry? And I'm like, do as many internships. It's so difficult because I know it's not viable for everyone to go and work for free. Like I was in a fortunate position where I could do as many internships because my mum was like, go and do that, go and actually see what you do and don't like, because I was like, I want to do a media degree. And Mum was like, you're not doing that.
Yeah, same. I remember.
I was like, why?
My parents were the same, and I think for me, like, I wasn't in the position to do that, but I did it anyway. I also had a part-time job. Like, I remember I was like just finished school, and I lived in Stockport, and I went in Stockport town centre with these CVs. Like, I had them printed out. Can you imagine doing that these days?
No, I did that. My first job was because I walked in with my CV to WH Smith.
Yeah, WH
and they were like, fine.
Well, I walked into Office Shoes because I was obsessed with shoes, and I handed my CV to my manager, who has been so impactful on me to this day. And I said to her, can I have a job? I have really good retail therapy. And she said she went upstairs and rung head office and was like, I have this girl, she's so young, I know we have no work, but I need her to work here. She was like, I just seen something in you. And I started the job, and she was a fiery woman. Like, she's incredible. Like, I still go and see her anytime I'm in Stockport. She still works there. She's called Nick. She was amazing, and she mentored me. That was my first mentor, to see, like, she was so strong, and like the way she held a room, but she had respect for people, and she mentored me. And no matter what I did, I always made sure I did the best of my ability at it. When I was selling them shoes, I was the highest earning on commission, because I knew I could make extra money, and I wanted to be the best at anything I did. So yeah, I've always wanted to work.
And how long were you at the shoe shop for?
I was at the shoe shop, I think, for around 2 years. We started going out in Manchester, and at the time there was a restaurant called Sakana, and it was like the coolest place ever. And I'd been asked to be a host there, but I just started university then. When you worked at Sakana, you got to like go, the club next door was like the coolest place in town, which is so funny because I don't go out. But at the time, like, I was like around 20, so I kind of stayed at office while I was at college, and then I started uni. I remember telling them I was going to leave, and they was like, can we do anything to make you stay? And I was just like, it's just not my journey. She really respected it, and like to this day we still speak. She's really proud of everything I've achieved, and I always say to Jo, like, I really want something to come up so I can give Nick a job because she's just had such an impact on my life. Funnily though, she took my brother on who's a bit younger than me, and she was like, well, she was raised in different houses because I think
it's
generationally
so crazy how different siblings can be.
My brother's amazing, but like I think it's like the older child and the younger child. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, even when it comes to parenting and stuff. My mum and dad was so, like, they are, like, I'm obsessed with my mum and dad.
Same.
But they, maybe not so much my dad, my mum was so different with me to Luca.
I had the strictest upbringing that you could imagine. Like, I wasn't allowed to stay out. I had to be in by a certain time, and she would come and find me, and she would drag me out. I'm not joking. Like, she was so strict. I remember one time I was being picked on at school, and she turned up at my art class. She was like so passionate about me. Do you know what I mean? But no, she was so strict, and I'm so grateful to this day because I feel like the values I have are because of that. Because I feel like she really protected me from a lot of things. But I really respected that growing up, and I never tried to go and do things that maybe other children would do because I knew it was what was best for me.
That was literally like us.
Yeah.
I feel like even when it comes to doing the CVs,
yeah,
God forbid Luca got made to go and walk around the town centre with his piece of paper. Whereas with me, it was like, I remember, I don't know if it was similar for you, but my dad, I was like 17.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone's going to Magaluf.
Oh,
like, this is so unfair. My dad was like, you think I am going to contribute to Magaluf? Like, if you want to go to Magaluf,
I cannot imagine you in Magaluf.
Never. But everyone was doing it. I was like, I want to go to Magaluf. What's this all about?
Yeah.
And then my dad was like, if you want to go on holiday, it will not be me that's paying for that. Yeah. And at the time, you're like, evil.
Yeah,
nasty.
No.
But I didn't say that, but I was like, this is so unfair. And then he was like, well, you know what to do. You print off that CV, go and get a job, pay for it. And I did. I went and printed these CVs off, went around every shop. Every shop's like, screw it up, in the bin probably, behind the scenes. But WH Smith's, I got the job and it was £4.25
I know,
an
it's
hour.
Crazy, isn't it? No, it's so true. And I remember we didn't even have a laptop or a computer at home. And I went to the library to do my CV and print it off. And I don't know, it's just so different now. But I just watch my mum get up and go to work every day. Like, even like when I was at school, I would have to take my brother to school before I went to school. So I feel like I've always had it in me where you get up, You get dressed and you go and give 110% every single day. Like, it's not given to you. You need to go and earn it. And I'm so glad that nothing was given to me. Like, don't get me wrong, like, we didn't have much growing up, but my mum made sure that we had everything and we felt really loved. And she really did make sure we had everything. But at the same time, she also instilled in me how important it is to go and make a living for yourself and be your own person. And she also taught me one of the most important things is, like, I personally will always have my own. It's really important to have your own identity and, you know, be something, make something of yourself.
Love that. And I'm guessing that's how you'll probably instill things into your own kids when that time
Absolutely. Comes. Yeah. My kids can be whatever they want to be. They can work wherever they want. They can do whatever they want, but you're going to do it to the best of your ability. You'll never be forced into anything, but I'm going to support you and, like, you're going to give it 110%.
And it's worked.
Yeah.
We're now at the end of your journey at office.
Yeah.
Taking that plunge, if you've been there a couple of years, is scary. You don't go and work as a host, right?
Yeah. So
you
actually,
did go for it?
I did.
Okay.
So I went to university, and basically I went to university because no one in my family had been to university, and my mum really wanted me to go to university. So I basically did it to make her proud.
That was literally nightmare.
Yeah. I never, like, moved away. That's, like, my worst nightmare. Like, I'm such a home girl. Like, I love being at home. So I went to university and I had this job at the restaurant where I was host. I ended up being head host because
you're the best at everything
I
you do.
just, like, yeah, and I was so young and I thought it was
that.
the coolest thing ever, and it was at the time. And I met most of my best friends there, and I was at uni, weren't really enjoying that, but just did that, like, to keep my mum happy. And then I landed my dream job. So there was a place called the Doll's House Fashion. You know it?
Yeah,
and at the time
they're still going now, aren't they?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Honestly, like, you was the hottest bitch alive if you were the Doll's House. I couldn't afford it, but, like, you was everything if you were the Doll's House. I remember I got the job because I went in for a dress on my 21st birthday and I met the owner, and she basically gave me a job, and I started at the Doll's House and I just fell in love with clothes. So I went to uni, I had the job at the restaurant at the evenings, and I did 2 days a week at the Doll's House. So I was juggling it. But when you are 20, 21, that doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're in awe, you're living your dream every day. And honestly, like, it just exposed me to everything. And, like, I looked at Becca every day, the owner of the Doll's House, and I was like, I want to be like you. She's so talented. And, like, I just got to see so much, but it just made me fall back in love with the clothing. I just loved it. And I also met Joe through the Doll's House, my husband.
So what age are you?
21.
Okay, so you're 21. How long did you stay at Doll's House for?
I think I stayed at the Doll's House till I was around 22 because I finished uni and I got offered a full-time job at the restaurant as business development manager.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
So you took a step back from fashion.
Yeah, I did.
Went back into full-time hosting.
Yeah.
How long did you then do that for?
So what happened there was I went and did that, and then I realised that I wanted a career, and I got offered a job for a friend with private medical insurance, which was so off, but the salary was really, really good. And I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. It's something different. That's what I went and did next.
Okay, and then I'm guessing you realised passion was more important at this point than the paycheck.
But I stayed at that job for a while.
How long's a while?
I'd say until, like, the first year of Wanderdoll.
So we're now 24.
Yeah.
You two have had a conversation at some point.
Yeah, it was really interesting though, because the restaurant was working at the Doll's House and I worked at the restaurant, and then on New Year's Eve my boss from the Doll's House said to me, like, can you book me a table? And I was like, okay. And she was like, oh, like, her partner's annoying friend was third wheeling, and they came in and I sorted them out, and it was actually Joe. And and I just didn't really give him the time of day at that evening.
Oh, okay, so you met when you were working
so it was, like, all intertwined, like, everything was meant to be. Okay. And then the following week in work, she was like, can I please give this guy your number? I was like, I'm not interested. I'm at uni, I've got 2 jobs, I do not need anything
I'm too
else.
busy for a man.
I'm too busy. Anyway, she ended up giving him my number, and then he just randomly messaged me one night, and then that was that. So, like, I'm always grateful for the Doll's House and Sakana because I wouldn't have met Joe. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
So you then, how long had you guys been together before you then had that conversation and were like, let's start a business?
So Joe had already had his own business. So, like, he already was very entrepreneurial.
Was that within fashion?
No, totally different. He's very clever. So, like, he had already had that. Until I was, like, maybe a little bit older and I'd gone and, like, got my own jobs, I'd never been around people that owned businesses. Any business I worked at, I was really lucky because I got to work really closely to the owners. Like even the restaurant, that family now, like I'm still really good friends with them. So I got to learn a lot. Like it's really important to be around the right people because they teach you a lot. So when me and Joe were like together, we went on holiday and we went to Tokyo and it was amazing.
Did you enjoy it? We just came back a couple of months ago.
Did you like it?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But I thought it was going to be a little bit more tech forward than we are because I feel like everything I see on...
It was when we went.
When did you go?
When did we go?
Now we've all caught up.
2007.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Maybe the UK's.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like when we went there, everyone was wearing masks and stuff, like way before COVID.
Oh, it's so hygienic. Yeah, I loved that.
Me too. It was
and
amazing.
My partner is so OCD, so it was like his dream. Like even the way they clean the toilet, like the toilets were all heated.
It was so clean. We went to Tokyo, and like my favorite thing to do when we go on holiday is go and like visit a temple or go and get blessed because I'm just like that. We went to this temple in Tokyo, and like you had to like write your intentions and like your dreams and your goals, and I was like, you're doing it. I used to manifest before I knew manifestation was a thing. Like I've always done it, like even when I was younger without even knowing. My mum used to call me Matilda because, do you know the film?
That is my favourite
film. Because like she always said like you're psychic. Like I just get feelings, and like my gut feeling was always like really strong with stuff. So like I think you don't even realise sometimes what you're doing when you're so young. When we was in Tokyo, we was at this temple and we wrote down all this stuff. And I remember being stood there. I remember it to this day because I thought, this guy's crazy. He said to me, we're going to start this fashion brand and we're going to do it and it's going to be huge. I remember being stood there and being like, oh my God, like, do you know when it's kind of new with someone, so you're still trying to like impress them and stuff? And I was thinking, oh my God, this guy thinks I'm capable of that. Like, he's crazy. Like, great, I'm really going to have to wing this one.
But that is the foundation of a successful now marriage.
I know.
You obviously had that belief and saw that in from day one.
I think the best advice I could ever give to anybody in life is like the person you end up with is the most important choice you'll make ever, because that person can literally make you or break you. I feel like it can really push you. Like without him, I don't even know if this would be, because that person believes in you so much. It makes you believe in yourself, and I think it's so important. Even with friends, any relationship you have, it's so important, and that's something I've really learned as I've got older.
So at what point did you guys have that conversation? I suppose you've left the temple now.
Yeah.
And between that moment and having the kind of kickstart of let's set this up now.
Yeah.
Let's make it a thing.
Yeah, well, we went home and he got me an iPad mini, which I hated. I still drew everything on pen and paper. I still do it now, by the way. I couldn't, this is what people don't understand. I design all of our clothes and I can't CAD. Like, if you want something, go and do it. Don't think just because you're not experienced or you've not gone to university and done that you can't do it. Like, if you want something enough, you can do it. I went home, I started drawing all these designs. I got on Google. I found my suppliers who are still my suppliers to this day. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I just did it. So
you didn't have like a recommendation?
No.
You literally used Google?
Yeah, and I learned about each supplier, how many people worked there, if they were ethical, everything. Like, I did my research.
Amazing.
I reached out, like the businesswoman in me negotiated sample prices. I was really on it. And yeah, I made the website myself. I've never done anything like that in my life.
And is it still the same website today?
It's different, but I've done this one too. I get a bit of help now though. But yeah, like in Wanderdoll, like anything that we do to this day, obviously we do have experts now, which is really important, but you have to hire the experts when the time's right. I'm a big believer in you should know how to do a lot of things in your own business, because I'm that boss that will go and sit with a member of the team when they're struggling with something, and like we'll sit and go through it together. You have to have a basic understanding.
Yeah.
So when I started the business, like I made sure I had a basic understanding of everything. Believe it or not, it was actually swimwear first. So it weren't called Wanderdoll, it was called Beach Doll.
Yeah. I actually knew that.
Did you? Yeah, it was called Beach Doll, and we did some swimwear. And the reason I didn't do clothes straight away was because I wasn't experienced enough. It felt really scary. So we did swimwear for like a year, and believe it or not, we still have half the stock. Like, we still have them bikinis, they haunt me.
So but the swimwear wasn't successful?
We broke even.
So you didn't lose?
Yeah, no. Like, and it was more than enough for me. Like, when we started Beach Doll, like like, I remember Joe saying to me, like, what savings do you have? Still really new in a relationship. And I was like, none. None. And he obviously had savings because that's just so Joe coded.
Yeah.
And I think we put like 10 grand each in. Is that right? It was too much money. Far too much money. Like, you do not need to start with that.
This was 10,000 each into the swimwear.
So like there was £20,000.
Okay.
And we've always been so good with money. So like we really
was that really scary, I suppose, from someone that
I was so
where
scared.
You haven't grown up with massive
I was so scared, and everyone like in our family said we was doing the wrong thing, but Joe believed in me that much that it didn't matter. So I was like, whatever. And like my best friend Poppy, she sat at my kitchen table with me and she said, this is going to be the biggest thing ever. And like again, it's the people you surround yourself with that matter.
For sure.
And I remember we've got all these swimwear designs and they were great, by the way. Like they were so good.
Like
the quality is like Wanderdoll quality now, and like I just didn't know enough. Like I didn't realize at the time people have different size boobs and like different size bottoms, and you know, I've learned so much along the way, and I'm so glad I did that. We did that for a year, and then it just kind of the winter, it was Winterdoll, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like we did faux fur coats, and like I remember them faux fur coats, I used to spray them with a Joe Malone scent so they smelled nice when people opened the box, and people would message me like, these smell so good. Like it was always them little touches. And then I really 6 years ago this October was when I actually started Wanderdoll. When I started Wanderdoll, it was like game time. Like this is going to be great.
Ever have that panic that what if it's like the swim where we don't sell loads of stuff? You went in with that fear, but you were just like,
you don't know if you don't try, and like you get one life, like you have to give it everything.
So how did that first product come about with Wanderdoll?
So when I started Wanderdoll, I remember going home to Joe and he was like, well, what are we going to call this business? And I was like, Wanderdoll, and he absolutely ripped me to shreds. He found it so funny. He was like, what on earth? But for me, it was really important that like I wanted girls to begin with to buy these pieces for their holidays, like Wander, and I'm like a Sagittarius, and I was like, what can we call it? But no matter what you call your business, it sounds stupid to begin with, I think, like when you say it out loud. So we called it Wanderdoll, and then it was like, right, now I need a unique selling point. I can't look the same as everyone in the market. At the time, like fast fashion was at its peak, and like I was about to start this business where the price point was a little bit more because I wanted like really good quality pieces. So I just had to ask myself, what do you want to buy? And I remember it was very much me being like, I want to wear designer clothes. I love designer clothes, can't really afford them, and I want to be able to give people amazing quality pieces that make them feel amazing when they put them on at the best price point possible. I've always wanted Wanderdoll to be a feeling. So like when you put it on, like you're like, this feels good.
The quality is unbelievable. Did it take a long time to master that quality?
Yeah, of course it did. It took 6 years. Like 6 years and I'm only just bringing out the pieces that I've always dreamt of. Blazers have always been my thing, but tailoring, there's an art to it. Like it has to be good. So like I would never put my name to something that I wasn't proud of. Like I've lost money. Even this summer we had this dress and it was gorgeous, and the supplier sent it and I was like, this isn't what I've signed off. And the team are like, it's commercial. And I'm like, so I lost the money on it because I'm like, I'm not putting my name to something, or I've got a customer base that trusts me so much that I can't do that to them. Like I won't do it. I would rather lose money.
So was that on like a full stock order?
Yeah.
And you just sent it back?
I worked with the factory to figure out the way to, so they weren't at a loss as well. I think it's really important to like work with your supplier. So we like worked out a way that we could like change the dress and make it better. And we worked out a way to solve the problem, but it very nearly didn't happen, and now it's like one of our best selling dresses. And I'm so glad that I did that, because basically what had happened was the fabric had shrunk when they were dyeing it. The fit wasn't the same and it was too short, and I just thought, no, like there's nothing worse is than buying something and you trying it on and you feeling like crap in it. It's like, I'm not going to do that. Like if people trust me enough to buy my clothes, like I want it to be something I'm so proud of, so I'd rather lose money than put something out that's not 100%.
And I suppose in the long run you probably earn more money by building that trust with your customers than if one shit product goes out and then you lose all of that clientele for potential for like future orders. Going back to when you were a smaller company, do you remember that first sale?
Yeah, I remember launch night. We'd worked really hard on it, obviously, and like I'd done the shoot, whatever. I remember it was launch night and we both looked at each other. We got 10 sales that night and we both were like, have we done the right thing?
But that's good though.
No.
Did you have like a whole campaign? I suppose at that point.
No, we didn't have a campaign. I did it myself with my best friends, but I'm still really proud of the shoot because the way I used to do shoots, I still do it now. We actually had this conversation on the last shoot that we did because I still use a lot of the same people. I'm just that girl. I stick with what I know. Like, I love loyalty. Everyone always says to me that like your first shoot was as good as this one. Obviously, like production's got better and everything's got better, but I made sure that we did a coffee run. Everyone had snacks. Like, everything was perfect. We had a call sheet. Like, I am militant. Like, I have to be down to like the finest details. Like, but I'm like that with everything in my life. So I make sure that everything's perfect. But in terms of the sales on that first night, even though now 10 sales is a lot, when you first start something, you want it to be huge. Do you know what I mean? And I remember thinking, oh, like, I'm still super grateful for them 10 sales, but it's really scary when you've just put so much into something. Sure. Like, is this gonna work?
Has that feeling changed now that the orders are obviously way higher? Do you still get that same
I
buzz?
do. Yeah, everyone laughs at me in work because they say like you're too humble, like to a point that it's like, come on girl. But I do believe in myself and I believe in Wanderdoll and I believe in the product, but at the same time, like, I think when you've started something from scratch and it's your baby, I don't know, you'll always have that little bit of anxiety or that little bit of fear. Like, I hope they love it. You want it to do well.
When did you choose, because I suppose at this point when you have your first sale, do you have any like staff?
No.
Or anything like that?
No, it was just me and Joe in the kitchen and I was so excited. Like, I loved picking and packing them orders.
So when did you first choose to hire?
We first chose to hire like maybe a year or two in, and it was very much hiring people who could do a little bit of everything. So at the beginning, like, I feel like with any business owner, you hire people who can like do a little bit of everything. So like picking and packing, customer service, a bit of social media, like everything.
I suppose it would be good to understand, because obviously I know you're extremely hands-on.
Yeah.
People probably would think at this level of success now that you might have been able to take a step back.
No.
How are you balancing everything?
I think with me, we had like a new starter last week, for example, and she was like, I cannot believe how much you do, but that's nothing to be proud of. It's just I love it that much. Like, I'm still as passionate today as I was 6 years ago. Like, it's my baby. And I'm also that founder that's like, I don't have my own office. I sit with the team. I'm one of the team. I get stuck in with everything. We're a team. It has to feel like we're a team. And now obviously I've got these incredible experts in their fields, which, by the way, now I feel like Wanderdoll is getting to the place it is because I've been able to hire people who are better than me in their areas. And I think that's something that's so important, that you hire the right people at the right time. Because people always say to me, like, how do you know when to hire this person, or how do you know when to hire that person? I didn't. I've had to like take a good look at what am I struggling with, write it down, go and have a look at what that involves. And a lot of things have come off recommendations now as well. But you will know when someone's right for you as well, because I've always found that experts have a really great way of simplifying things to you. Like our merchandiser, it's all numbers. I'm like, whoa, like that is not what I love doing. Like, I'm a very creative visual person, but because she's so good at what she does, she can explain it to me so simple that I'm like, okay, you know? And I think it's finding people who really align with you. I feel like kindness is the greatest strength you can have, and I want my workplace to be a place where people love to come to work and everyone feels supported. Morals and kindness is like a real big thing for me. Like, I would sometimes rather not hire someone if they're not going to be like a good person.
We had a conversation, didn't we, where you said about how you just get vibes from people.
I'm a vibe feeler.
Both of us have like made decisions where in the moment it feels like they'll be good, and then they walk into the team and you're like, what?
I think that it's never a loss, it's always a lesson. And I think
100%.
that's the best piece of advice I could give someone, apart from who you choose to spend the rest of your life with. But I think that every single person teaches you something. And even with Wanderdoll, I think that sometimes people maybe have come in and it's not right for them either, because everyone does things really differently. But I've been so lucky, and every single person I've met has taught me such a big lesson. But I do get a vibe about things. And honestly, like, I was having this conversation the other day. I went and got my cards read.
I know, I want to know everything. I want to go off on a tangent and know everything.
And she said to me, like, it kind of ruins things for you, because I feel like I know the vibe before I arrive. I'm like, I need to leave, get me out of here.
Yeah.
But I'm also, it's really guided me, like, always go with your gut, because your gut knows things that you don't.
But I feel like I have such a strong
Yeah.
gut, like instinct. But when you can't pinpoint
Yeah.
why you feel like that,
Yeah.
and you just go into freak out mode, like, what the hell is going to go wrong this week?
This is actually a really funny thing because at Wanderdoll, it's actually it's full of females at the moment. There's 3 males, but like it's predominantly females.
Yeah.
And like we'll have a day and we'll message each other like, I was a freak today. But everyone has an off day at work and that's fine too, you know?
Do you find that TMI, but everyone's like periods become in sync and stuff? Because I feel like we've had that in the office where it's so bizarre. Like everyone's hormones are just, it's weird because we are really predominant female as well.
I feel like with me, like I feel a responsibility to keep the vibe good in the office. So I'll always do everything I can to make sure the vibe's good because I feel like it's really important. Like you spend most of your life at work, like it needs to be right.
I think keeping up appearances can be, I mean, in personal experience, like tough. Obviously, I was saying to one of the staff the other day that I was stressed about something in the office. And she was like, it wasn't an issue like last week. I said, honestly, I got home and broke down.
Yeah.
I was like, and she was like, what? Like, I thought you didn't care. And I was like, I've spent 3 days crying.
Yeah.
She was like, you masked that so well. I said, I did that in that moment for you guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to break down in the office and you'll think, oh my God, what's going on?
I get that on a different level. Like you hold it together, don't you?
Yeah.
Again, I think that goes back to having a good business partner for me though. If I do feel a way about something, I'm a very empathetic person. So like I feel everything. Like, and I want to save the world most days. Like, but Joe is very logical. So he will like really, I'll sound it out to him and he'll be like, right, look at it this way and like look at it on the flip side. But I'm a very deep person. It's like I really think about things and I just treat people with so much respect. So sometimes like if somebody does something that I like to think that I would treat someone how I would want to be treated. Like I'm so big on it. So I think sometimes it's more like trying to understand why somebody would do something if you wouldn't do something, but then realizing that that's what makes you you.
Yeah. My mum always said growing up, no one is ever going to have the same heart as you. Like you can't expect them to act in the way that you.
Yeah.
And it's so, honestly, the older that I get as well, it sounds so ancient, but like it's so true. It's
so true. And I feel like people always make out that kindness is a weakness, but it's not. It's a superpower. And 100%. I think that you reap what you sow. When you play dirt, you do not win in life.
No.
And I don't care what anyone says. If somebody wrongs you, it will come back to them. Listen, no one's perfect. We all make mistakes. And you learn so much as you grow up. And I feel like the girl I looked at 26 to the woman I am at 30, I've learned so much through experience, personal experience. Like people can listen to this podcast, you can read so many business books. Nothing's going to teach you better than your own personal experiences. One thing I'll always say is you reap what you sow, be a good person, and don't fuck people over.
Karma it's
real.
It's so real.
Yeah,
like I've had so many situations where you think, oh my God, how have they done that to me?
Yeah.
And then 3 months later you hear something and you're like, I know that was just a taste of karma.
Yeah. And I feel like you've got to be so just focused on you and what you're doing. Like another brand will never come up in our office really, very rarely, other than where we're like, that brand's doing amazing or look at what they've done. Like we never look at what anyone else is doing. I feel like my journey may have been slower than other people's, but I've always been really happy to watch other people win because I knew my time would come too. And I
saw something the other day that was like, I'm going to get this so wrong because my memory is like Dory from Finding Nemo, but it was something about basically dimming someone else's light doesn't make yours brighter.
Exactly.
And it is so true. Like I don't know why so many people out there just want, especially with women. I'm a proper girls girl and I think, why do other girls get so bitter if they're not in that position? Like you being successful doesn't take away from what they can achieve. To be fair, I've had a really good experience and lucky like that as well, where it's not at me, but I just am gobsmacked when I hear other people say it.
I agree.
It's just bizarre.
I think it's really important that like if you learn something, like to put someone else on if you can, because if I'm in a room and someone mentions something that's going to help my friend out, best believe I'm mentioning my friend's name. I think it's really important. Like my best friend is the best example of this. Like my best friend she's like sunshine when she walks into a room. She's so loud and so different, and she will like shout my name in every room. She has helped me grow Wanderdoll so much by just being a really good friend. And I'm the same with my friends, and I think it's so important. Like if you can add value to somebody's life, you should do it, because that is such a nice thing to do. then that's it. Like, there's no other hidden agenda with it. Like, you shouldn't have hidden agendas. Do you know that quote where it says, like, there's no place like home, no people like your own? Like, that is me to a T. Like, I just love being at home with my family. And I feel like my friends have always been like, come to this event, like this person's going to be there, or that she loves Wanderdoll. And I'm like, I would never make a relationship with somebody just to benefit me in the business. Like, it has to be authentic. Like, I can't force those things. And like, we recently did an influencer trip, and it was
I saw that. It looked unreal.
It was groundbreaking for the business. But even with that, we worked with a company who were amazing, and like, they was like, what about this person, what about this person? And I was like, no, this is going to be the guest list. This person has really helped me grow Wanderdoll from the beginning, and I want to give back and give them an amazing experience and come on this trip and like make it so us coded and we can bond with them people, because I've had such a positive experience where I've been able to make really great connection with these influencers. But the influencers that like we gift to, because we don't pay anyone to wear Wanderdoll, I've always wanted it to be really authentic, where if they love it, they'll wear it. And I feel like I've made some friends for life, and I've been so lucky, and it's been so authentic.
And how did, I suppose it would be good actually to dive into that trip. Like, how did that benefit you guys as a business? Did you find it did give you like a really strong ROI?
It was crazy. It was literally crazy. I feel like, again, it really goes into doing things at the right time. If we would have done that earlier, I don't think we would have had the setup. Do you know, like, when you see stuff about like things being an overnight success, and it's like, like I always see stuff like it took 10 years to make an overnight success. People don't see that. Like, people come over to me all the time now and they're like, Wanderdoll's blew up out of nowhere, and I'm thinking, oh, girl, you have no idea. Like, I work 24/7, which is my choice, and I love it. But that influencer trip really changed everything. I think it was because we were so intentional. Wanderdoll is so intentional. Like, we're very intentional people. And when we arranged a trip and organised it, like, down to every detail I had input with, we did like Diet Cokes, French fries. We did even like all the gifting in the room. Like, it was very me coded. Like, I love details, and I feel like it was a real chance to like sit with the people who have helped me on this brand and really connect with them and have a good time. It felt like a girls' trip. And everyone said to me, like, this has genuinely felt like a girl's holiday. Like, I don't want to go home.
It looked so fun.
It was really nice, and it was, we all needed it. Like, it was just so nice. We just sat around the dinner table and just spoke like friends and like shared stories, and like, it was like therapy.
But it was portrayed like that on social media. Like, it just felt really authentic. Even the stories, just like a genuinely really fun.
We never asked anyone to post either. Like, usually if you would go in a brand trip, maybe the brand would send something like, we expect this many Instagram stories and this many posts, but we didn't want to do that because we wanted it to be totally authentic. Like, if they feel like posting, they will post. Obviously, it's great that they do because you're on the brand trip, but we wanted it to be as authentic as possible. Them girls have helped me so much, and it was genuinely so good, and it was so nice, and I had a really nice time. And I feel like it was like a rare time that I switched off from the office and was just in the moment and was just one of the girls, you know? And like, it really helps me because I am a little bit more introverted, that my best friends are influencers, so they was on the trip as guests. So like, it brings me out of my shell a little bit more, and I just feel more comfortable and at home.
Have you planned any more?
We've got so much coming.
You're obviously very clearly creative and love that side of things. How have you found also managing business side of things, or is that where having Joe and that element of the business too, regardless, I suppose you're involved in everything?
Being creative is like my therapy. So like, when I get to be creative with like the shoots and designing clothes, like that's just second nature to me. Like, that's where I thrive. So like, I will happily do that at the weekend, or I can design a collection in half a day. Lock me in a room and like, I can make things happen. Do you ever get
like creative blocks though?
Yeah. And I actually worked with somebody who said to me, and it's always stuck with me, like, you've got to see creativity like a camera lens, and sometimes it can get foggy and you need to go and have a minute, clean the lens and sharpen it, and come back to it. And every time now where I get like a bit of a creative block, I'll go and do something that I like doing. So we'll just like go and walk the dogs, or like, I am the most passionate dog mum you will ever meet in your life.
They're
like,
so cute.
I take it incredibly serious. They are my life. Like, they have been like therapy to me. So I'll just go and be at home and be with the dogs, or go and do something that I love, like be with my family, or call my best friend, have a cup of tea, and then it comes back. It's like anything. But with the business side of things, unfortunately, you can't shy away from that. And I I've become quite the businesswoman and I love it. And at the beginning, I used to lean on Joe a lot, but I've really grown into my own. And I feel like even now, like my suppliers, we've started hiring obviously experts, and like we want to speak to Ainsleigh because like we have a way of doing things, and I've become such good friends with them. But I love the business side of things. It's something that I've become really good at, and I feel like you have to know the business side of things in order for your business to go well. Like you have to be in the nitty gritty. I have a great understanding of each area of my business. I might not be the expert in it, but I understand it.
Yeah, that's something that I've had to really, because I'm a control freak as well. So when you hand big elements of the business to like the experts, like accounting, I don't know what you're on about, but I want to know everything, even like legal. I don't know if that's different for your type of industry, but again, I don't even want to touch.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think like I've always been taught that do the stuff that scares you first. Like, so like if something scares me, like go and learn about it and have an understanding of it. Even when we did ASOS, I remember being in this room and I was petrified. And I don't even know why now, because we've become such good friends with the people we work with. And I remember they would say stuff and I wouldn't feel stupid to ask a question of what they meant, because I'd rather be in a meeting and look stupid and ask a question than not understand what they're talking about. If you don't ask, you don't know. You kind of learn the most from mistakes you make, and that's how great things happen. And I also feel like with some of my biggest mistakes have become like the most successful times, because I've learned something that I wouldn't do again.
I think as well, like, are you an overthinker?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, same. So even the asking questions is such, it's pivotal, because if it's a weekend, my legal team are off.
Yeah.
I want to have a rough understanding of what anything means, so that I can reassure myself, like, oh, okay, that's not an issue, like, that's fine because I know X, Y, Z. When I actually think about it, they're probably like, you're so annoying, why are you asking that?
I think, again, that comes with, like, hiring really great people, though, because, so, like, when people come over to Wanderdoll, I feel so lucky and, like, so privileged that they want to have their career with us, because you can't micromanage people, and if you need to micromanage people, they're not the right people, so you've kind of got to let people do their jobs and trust that they will do it better than you. But at the same time, no one knows your business better than you.
The struggles, the realities, I suppose, of running a business, it's not always the best.
No.
Talk to me about those early challenges, even, to be fair, challenges now, what you've actually been through to get to where you're at now.
I think that owning a business is the loneliest experience ever, and I have a business partner who's like my life partner, because no one can really set you up for what you're about to go through, especially when we was a business that didn't just take off like it's took 6 years, and there's been a lot of stuff go wrong along the way and a lot of lessons learned. Like, that's our favourite saying in Wanderdoll office, lesson learned, because again, like, even if someone now makes a mistake at work, I would never make someone feel stupid for making a mistake. Like, I want to be the person they can come to and say, I've messed up, and I'd be like, let's fix it together. It's really important, because I've messed up loads of times. It's really led me to where I am now. But I think when I started the business, I was never under the impression it was going to be easy, but I never realized how hard it would be. Like, I'm crazy. Like, I started this with no experience, like, what on earth? But at the same time, that was the biggest blessing, because I had no expectations.
But you had passion.
Yeah, I just had loads of passion and so much work ethic. There's been days we got no sales. There's been days where we got more returns than sales. Got back up every time. Okay, why are we getting returns? What doesn't she like? Like, let's get some data to see what she's saying. Like, does it not fit right? What is it? Like, figuring out. Wanderdoll was created to make women feel amazing. Like, that has always been my mission, and that genuinely is my mission. Like, I want women to receive Wanderdoll, and I want it to be a feeling. I have people come over to us now in the Trafford Centre. Like, the other day we went to the Trafford Centre and it was so crazy. Like, this lady was serving Joe and she was like, I'm so sorry, I have to say, Nara changed my life. Like, the fact people know the name of these clothes, it's crazy, but like, it happens all the time. That didn't start out like that, and I feel like it's really important that people know that it doesn't it does for some people, by the way, happen overnight, and that's incredible, but I'm kind of glad it didn't, because it's taught me so much over the journey. Like, I feel like it's taught me stuff that have been life lessons, and it's also taught me my strengths and weaknesses as a business owner, and the business's strengths and weaknesses. Every time I have maybe looked at what somebody else is doing, and thought, should I be doing that, and maybe done it, it's not worked for us. Like, you have to stay in your own lane, has to be your own race. Like, don't look at what anyone else is doing. Like, when it's your time, it'll be your time.
The thing is, there is no playbook. Like, these brands, even when you look at them, they have no playbook either.
Yeah, oh my God, there's been so many things. Like, I remember one time, like, we ordered a tracksuit in baby pink and it sold out on pre-order, and it come and it was a different shade of pink. I had to literally email every single customer. I'm literally, at the minute, I'm like, what now? Like, even the other day, like, the business is now like a 7-figure business and it's doing amazing and it's thriving and like everything's in the right place. I'm in a fit session, which means that you have a live model come in who is Phoebe, who has been with me from the beginning. And the reason I still use her to this day is because no one really knows Wanderdoll like Phoebe knows Wanderdoll, because she was one of the people I hired to do a bit of everything. And she's very honest to me, and I need somebody to be around me who's going to be honest and tell me if something doesn't fit right, because fit's so important with women's clothing. But we're in this fit session and we're all there, and the production manager says to me, have you seen your emails? And I was like, oh God, what now? Like, there's already been 10 things go wrong this week. And we had this wholesale order that was really big and we backed it. So Wanderdoll and the wholesale were doing the same dresses, and it was for Christmas, and I was so excited about this dress. It was gorgeous. And the production had finished and there was oil on the dresses, and I've never had that problem before. Like, I was like, what do you mean there's oil on the dresses? It's on the fabric. We had to cut the order, and everyone was a bit like looking at me, and it was at the time again where like the spotlight's on you, so you have to act accordingly. And I just like took a deep breath and I said, okay, no worries, like, I'll deal with it. What we'll do is you email ASOS and say we're gonna recolor it for next year for spring in 3 other colors. Do they want that? I'll speak to the supplier, see what the supplier wants to do. Is the supplier okay? Like, let's get it sorted. And I remember Farron saying to me later on the phone that night, you handled that so calm, but there's no other way to do it. Like, you have to be calm, because I just feel like it's so important. You have to just roll with the punches, and like,
chaos
at the end of the day,
more chaos.
Yeah, and I just think you have to think calm under pressure, because everybody else is watching you as well, and you have to lead by example.
I mean, you've just mentioned ASOS, and I really want to touch on that, because that is such a cool milestone that you now stock fairly recently-ish on there. How, I suppose, for anyone else that has like a fashion brand and wants to go into that, what was the process of, and also deciding to have them, because I feel like getting your first stockist is like a big deal.
Yeah, so ASOS actually came to us, and they'd come to us before previously, and we just wasn't ready yet. Like, we was nowhere near ready. People don't understand that when you take on like a wholesaler, your business has to be in a certain place. And I remember we was going down to ASOS, like, everyone has like a dream and a goal. ASOS was mine. And I remember when I was younger and I used to get my like uni student loan, it would go on ASOS or Topshop, one or the other. And I've always loved ASOS. And I remember was going down that day and I'd done this presentation, and I thought I was going to go into this room and like have to tell them why my brand was so great. We went in and they were just like, oh my God, I love your dog, you're getting married soon, aren't you? And like, we love the brand, like, we want the brand. And I was like, oh my God,
I've done a whole pitch.
Yeah. And the one thing about ASOS was we said to each other, me and Joe, before we went, if it's not right, we're not going to do it. And he'd said to me, like, I know it's a dream of yours, but like, if it's not right, we're not doing it, because it's really important to not get blindsided sometimes by what you want and do the right thing. And we always do the right thing. The girls I deal with there, one girl in particular, she's called Gabriella, she's our buyer. She has taught me so much. Like, she has been such an incredible mentor for me. Like, I've been able to say to her, what should I do about this? Or she taught me what a buyer was. Like, we need a merchandiser, which has been incredible for the business. And now we're like one of their like highest achieving brands, which is crazy to me. And I just love working with them so much, but I'm very much about people. So I feel like it's been such a positive experience because of the people we work with. It genuinely is a team effort. It's collaborative. Like, I didn't want to just be on ASOS. Like, it's a partnership. We speak all the time. Like, they're very on board with the brand's vision. Like, it has to align. And I think that's why it's done so well. You've got to see it as well. Like, we was this small business. ASOS is huge. Like, all these new people seeing your business, and it's just been amazing.
But has it been financially a really positive move for the company.
Incredible. It's been amazing. Like, I think as well,
because you really subtly went past the fact you're 7 figures now. You're like, yeah, we're 7 figures now. Okay.
Yeah, we've done a really great job, but I don't know what it is. Like, I'm not shy on numbers, by the way. Like, I'm very proud of what we've achieved, but I feel like I want to use my platform to inspire other women. I feel like sometimes when you're starting out, it can be really daunting to hear people talk about numbers. Personally, like, I don't mind, like, when I listen to people on podcasts, I love knowing the nitty-gritty. But I just feel like when we are a 7-figure business, and I'm incredibly proud, but we are just getting started.
Love that. Was it this morning or yesterday? You got a new warehouse?
Yeah. Yeah,
Congrats.
Got a new warehouse, which is terrifying. But basically, our merchandiser kind of looked at the business and was like, we're forecasting for next year. And basically, she was like, we don't have the space or the capacity to do it.
Do you handle logistics and everything in-house?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're true believers at the minute of like keeping as much as we can in-house for as long as possible, because I have a really good team in that warehouse and they need their jobs.
Love that.
Like, when people have been really loyal to you, like, I'm very much a believer of, I take my team very seriously and their progression. So like, I want to progress people as much as I can. They're on this journey with me, we're on it together.
Towards the end of each podcast, we have little segments where I've really capitalised on the surname. So things I wish I knew. Basically, if you could go back and tell, I don't know, what age should we go for? 16, 18, your old self, what are you telling her?
Always trust your gut. Go with your gut. And your kindness is going to be the thing that gets you very, very far. It's not a weakness, it's your superpower. But trust your gut. Your gut's so important.
Love it. Just on things you wish, Bish, you know, how do you feel? Obviously, the fashion industry is saturated.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you guys have really stood out?
Wanderdoll's a feeling. I think in order to be good at something, you kind of have to create a solution. So like, when I'm creating products for Wanderdoll, I think of everything. Like, I am so fussy. Sometimes the team hate me. But like, for example, we won't create a bodysuit without a zip the whole way down, because who wants to put a bodysuit over their hair? And like, with trousers, like, I'll put little adjusters in because I know that some people have bigger bums and bigger hips or smaller waists. I'm always thinking about the solution. And I think with Wanderdoll, it's grown up with me. So like, as my style has evolved, it's grown up with me. So like, now it's more going into like tailoring and blazers, and it's always been what I want to wear. So it's never felt forced, because it's like, I'm designing for myself. And when my customer receives it, like, you know, when you order something sometimes and you get it and you're like, I cannot believe I've just paid this for this. That's never going to be the way with Wanderdoll. Like, you're going to get it and you're going to be like, I cannot believe I paid this for this. Joe and the team are always on me to up my prices. But for me, like, it's not the reason. Like, the reason I started this brand was to be accessible. You know, accessible looks different for everybody. And that's the reason I try and keep the prices at a certain price, because that might be that somebody's really saved for that item. So if they've saved for it, I'm so honoured, and I want them to get it and it be the best it can be. We've kind of created this community that's so strong that it's everything I always wanted it to be.
I mean, the quality is unmatched. I wore it for my 30th.
Did you?
I sent you the photo, didn't I? That was my 30th. I wore Wanderdoll.
Was it Nara?
And I wore...
It was the lemon.
See,
Nara.
I'm not like that customer you told me about. My memory
that's just how our customers are. Was it the two-piece with the... Beautiful.
The two-piece. It was so lovely and so thick.
Yeah.
And I'm used to the heat now.
Yeah.
So coming back, I needed a nice thick outfit. It was so lovely. And then literally, as I flew back for this, I wore my yellow Wonder t-shirt. And again, it's such good quality.
Yeah. And people were tagging us like, of course your t-shirt is 100% cotton. I'm like, of course it is.
So, I mean, thank you so much. I guess just to wrap up, we get people to send in questions. Okay. Obviously, they don't know who's coming on. So this is quite broad.
Okay.
But Lily.
Hope it's not Lily from work.
I love my friends to bits, but I can feel the shift. I've started achieving things they haven't, and I don't want to seem like I'm trying to show off if I want to share my milestones. How do you navigate that?
I think it's really tough. And I think, being totally honest with you, your friends shouldn't make you feel like that. Your light should never make somebody feel like it's dim in theirs. And I think it's really important. Again, you need to be careful who you're friends with because they can literally inspire you or drain you. And my friendship group, when I have an achievement, they are so excited for me, and the same for them. Even if it's something I've not achieved yet, like I am absolutely buzzing for them. Like,
sorry to interrupt, but like I suppose there's been times, because I obviously know your friendship group,
yeah,
where you probably weren't at the point of thriving and they were really
yeah, I remember
doing well.
When I started Wanderdoll as well, like the girls were going to like Dubai and Bali, and I couldn't go because one, we couldn't afford it, and for two, Joe was like, if you're doing this brand, you're doing this brand, like get your head down.
Yeah.
And I was never jealous. I was so happy for them. I was a bit gutted I couldn't go, but your time comes,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
And everybody kind of experiences milestones at different times, but again, I am 30 now and it comes with experience, because I remember when I was younger, I would deep situations so much more.
Yeah.
But like for the younger girls that work with me now, I'm like their big sister, and I will sit with a cup of tea with them and I'll say like, don't worry about it, like just don't worry, just do you carry on being a good person, you carry on being a good friend, and if someone's not a good friend for you, then they're not for you.
Sure.
Thank you so
Well,
much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank
Honestly,
you very much.
I don't know how we're going to crop this down to like 40 minutes. I want everything in there. Thanks so much for listening to Bishness as Usual. If you enjoyed the episode, please make sure to follow, subscribe, and leave a rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. New episodes will be dropping every Monday, so until then, stay inspired and we'll get back down to Bishness next week.